Hi, this is Fayme Harper. My friends at AllFreeKnitting.com asked me to show you how to knit an advent calendar. Now it's getting pretty close to the big day, so I've figured out a way to just do the pockets with knitting and the rest with sewing. Now if you're a real hardcore knitter, you can knit the background too, but if I tried that, I wouldn't have the tutorial ready until February. Now the advent calendar typically counts down the 24 days until Christmas, Christmas being the 25th, but you can also use the same idea to make a retirement countdown, a graduation countdown, till your wedding, or anything you can think of. And in each little pocket is a little inexpensive item, like a piece of chocolate or a doodad, so even picking out the items can be fun. I've decided to use this piece of plastic canvas for the inside of the advent calendar. And this is some green, I think that's fleece that I'm going to cover it with. I'm going to use this for my pattern and cut around it, leaving enough to flip over like so and sew down. So the plastic is 13.5 by 10.5. And I cut this wide enough to flip over. It doesn't ravel, so you don't have to worry about turning it under. And then I'm just going to stitch it down along the edge. Now I'm going to use scrap yarn to make the pockets, and I want mine all different shapes and sizes. So I'm going to go swirl up some scrap balls of yarn to make the pockets. I held the corners down with sewing pins, and then I'm going to sew bells on the corners. At the same time I flip this over. I think I can get away with that. We'll see. If you don't have any bells, just use buttons or holiday charms. For the corner, I think I'm going to fold it and get a little miter going on here, like so, and then line it up. Sew the button or the bell on the other side. Now here's your big chance to use multiple skills if you have them. I'm going to have to sew this edge down anyways, and the quickest way would probably just be with running stitch, but you know, I want it to look nice and decorative, so I'm going to use feather stitch, which is embroidery, but you know, use whatever skills you have. You could just tack buttons along here or beads or whatever, but I'm going to use this and do a feather stitch. I'm going to demonstrate how to make some of the pockets here. This white one is baby yarn, and it is size 1 needle, cast on 14, and then you do it as long as you want, and I made it for a candy cane, so that's how long it is. And this is for the pencil. This one is garter stitch, cast on 8 with worsted weight yarn, and then I made it as long as I needed for a pencil. And here's some of the smaller pockets. This one's stockinette. These are all stockinette. So I'm going to show you how to make one of the pockets. The first pockets are done in stockinette stitch, cast on 10 and do 12 rows. If you can, make each one in a different color of yarn. For the littlest pockets, I'm going to cast on 10. So you put a slip knot on your needle, and use your favorite way to cast on. So just cast on 10. I can do this better off camera, so give me a second. This is going to be a garter stitch pocket, so I'm going to knit every row. And I'm going to keep going until it's 1 inch wide. So it's approximately a square. This pocket turned out to be 2 inches by 2 inches, which is fine. I don't have that size yet. And I'm going to go ahead and bind off the edge by knitting 2. And then picking up the first stitch, lifting it over the second stitch, so I have 1 left on my needle. And then you knit them off 1 by 1. So now I have 2 again. Lift this one up, bring it over the other one, and that way pretty soon I'll be down to 1 stitch. Then when you have your last stitch, you're going to cut like right here and pull that last stitch through. Sometimes it's easier to do that with your fingers, and then snug it up, tighten it up. Otherwise it would all come unravel, and that wouldn't be good. So go ahead and make 3 more pockets like this one in different colors. Right? Well, I think I will end part 1 here. So if you hurry, you can get a chance to make them. Since today is the 1st, gonna have to knit pretty fast. And I'll have part 2 up as soon as possible. So enjoy making your advent calendar. Toodles!